She's actually from Australia. She practiced for about 15 years in Australia, and now has just opened her own practice about a year ago in Ireland. So she's going to share with us a little bit more about herself and her experience with CPN. So first of all, Dr. Julie, say hello to everybody. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone, and I'm really happy to be here with Dr. Krista. As Dr. Krista mentioned, I'm an Australian chiropractor, but I'm living here in Ireland, wet Ireland at the moment. But I have moved here about a year and a half ago with my husband and 3 boys. And prior to that, we're in Australia for 5 years. And before that, I was here for 10 years prior to that working. So yeah, I've worked in all places, far and wide in the world. So I started my own business, as I said, about a year ago, and I always wanted to do more in the subject of neurology, and was just waiting for, I guess, the right opportunity, the right time to do it. And then your fantastic program came along. So that's why I sort of jumped in the chance of doing it, because it was online. You did so many videos, so many research articles, so many, live broadcasts to showcase what your course detailed, and it was exactly what I was looking for at the right time. So that's why I sort of jumped in to do it.
Well, thank you. And what made you want to learn more about neurology for your practice? What stimulated you to learn neurology? Why did you think that was an important component for your practice?
Well, I guess, chiropractic's based on the brain, the nervous system. So at the end of the day, as a healthcare professional and a chiropractor, I think it's our duty to know as much as we can about the brain and the spinal cord. I guess current research has all been linking, brain to our adjustments, and people like yourselves and Dan Sullivan and John Minardi, who I love listening to too. They have so much information about chiropractic and the brain, but you sort of delivered that one step further and on how to implement sort of brain-based corrections through postural neurology, and I just thought it was brilliant.
Wonderful. And did you have any skepticisms before joining the postural neurology program? Did you foresee any obstacles, or were you just ready to jump right in once you joined?
To be honest, neurology, it was always a complex subject at school. And so, after being out for 16 years, I thought, am I ready to do more study into it? I mean, it's so complex. I've got 3 small children. So I knew that a lot of seminars would be, weekends away. It would be quite costly. And then, as I said, I found your course, and the way that you delivered it by doing the free training, which I thought was brilliant from day one, from that first video, I think I implemented straight away, and I just had to know more. I waited for the next video and the next video, and I just thought, I've got to do it. I've got to learn more. And you allowed it in such a way that I could do it in my own time, which there's not a lot of, but, I made the time to do it. And, I just thought it was brilliant. Yeah, really good.
Wonderful. And I love that you mentioned, that you're very busy. You have 3 small children, and you're living in Ireland as well. And I know from Dr. Mark and I's experience of living in Italy, not only did we have to travel to seminars, but we were talking about traveling abroad to seminars at that point. And so that made it very difficult and very far out of our reach when we were living in Europe. And as much as we wanted to participate in programs, when they were offered online, from our perspective, it was so much easier to be able to participate and made a lot more sense for our lifestyle at the time. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
And what results have you seen after implementing postural neurology into your practice?
I feel more confident, and I think that reflects in my patients' confidence in me too. So I'm more, because I'm chatting about neurology and posture to them, it makes sense to them too. Like even patients that I've had for a long time, monthly patients, and now I've sort of implemented this with them, even they've seen changes, and they were long-standing patients anyway. Like straight away, I, did the convergence divergence test, And that amazes me. I just wish we'd learned more things like that at our schools, you know. So, you know, even people are standing up taller and say they don't feel that they've got as much of a head tilt, which correlates directly to the convergence test. They can rotate more, you know, I sort of show them their dominant eye and things like that. Just with, you know, just giving them the exercises, standing on one leg, you know, and I say to do that with them and their family. So I've actually seen as a result them bringing in their children or their partners. So a lot more referrals. And yeah, no, just as I said, more certainty, more specific adjustments. And as I said, I think patients sort of see that. So I'm more confident in telling them what they need to know in order to improve. Yeah.
Love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Having certainty in practice not only makes it, you know, not only do you have the clinical confidence, but it makes it more fun. You know, you can look at your patient and understand precisely what's happening within their neurology and within their physiology and make recommendations that you know are going to get them the results that they're looking for. And maybe they haven't gotten in somebody else's office before. So thank you for the high value that you're providing to your patients. We absolutely love hearing that. You know, to see this in action beyond just our clinic with our patients is just, it's tremendous. I love hearing the stories. So thank you for implementing and sharing with us these great results. Yeah. Now, why would you recommend postural neurology to other healthcare professionals who are considering doing the postural neurology program?
Because it is just so implementable. As I said, from the free video training, which was amazing, I started using it and started seeing results. So, you know, if you're unsure, you know, do the free video trainings, see what it's like to sort of learn from you guys, because I think even watching your videos, you're always smiling, you're always chatting about it. You can see that you're so into, you know, and you love it. You love just postural neurology. You love helping people. So that gives me, like, I mean, that feeds off, you know, the people that you're listening to too. You know, we get excited when we see that how excited you guys are and continue to be. You guys are on there 24/7. Like every time I open my phone, there's another video to watch or another research article to watch. So my dog's getting a lot of walks at the moment because I just want to listen to it all, and it's the only piece I get. And then if there is things that I need to watch, you know, I just sort of scoot off at nighttime and watch a little bit more. What else? Because it's very cost effective. Like you can do it at your own speed, at your own time. You provide lifetime access, so I can still keep going over the videos when I need to, just to make sure that I am doing it right. You answer questions. You're fantastic at just keeping in touch. I always go back to your success is our priority, which is your thing, and it really stands true. Just even looking at your posters in the background, the forms that you give us, the posters, everything like that. You're really good at delivering everything to us. Why else?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, that's okay. There's lots more. There's lots more. I did write down a few notes in case I did forget.
Well, you know what? That was one. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say you can implement it in any practice. It requires minimal equipment and minimal costs. Like I've even just bought a whole lot of like they have gym equipment, so all the bands and balance cushions and things. I bought them fairly cheap at, you know, probably places you haven't heard of, but just local gym stores and things. And people are really getting into it. And, you know, I'm going to do a big Easter hamper instead of filling it with eggs and things, fill it with all the gym equipment. And just,
I love it.
Yeah, so just things like that. It's just really cheap and easy to implement. And you can start the next day. As I said, I started the day after I learnt a little bit about your spine, vestibular, eye model. And I highly, highly recommend it.
Well, thank you, Dr. Julie. And I just want to highlight a couple of things that you just mentioned. First of all, Dr. Julie was saying that just from the free training, she was able to implement this information into her practice. So if you haven't had the opportunity yet, please take a look at the free training videos. They're only available for the next day or so take advantage of that. And then, as you mentioned, you know, postural neurology overall is highly implementable. And we did that very intentionally because we didn't want people to think with neurology, you're just going to learn a lot of information, but then not be able to apply it to your everyday patient. So that was precisely where we wanted to put our focus, was modern day patients being able to implement this information in any clinic worldwide, regardless of what country you're in, the size of your practice, how many staff members you have. We want to provide you the tools that you can have certainty in practice, plus be able to implement with your patients to get those results. And as you mentioned, your success is our priority. So thank you again for this opportunity of connecting live on Facebook. We really appreciate you sharing your experience with CPN, with the Certified Postural Neurology Program. It's so wonderful to connect with you, to hear your successes, to hear how you've implemented it. And I just want to thank you again. Thank you for taking time on a Sunday afternoon to connect with us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much, Dr. Krista.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.